Hello, hello. Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening. Hey, Sam. Hello, hello.
Hello, how you doing?
It is very dark, probably in the north. How are you, Sam?
North Pole, yeah. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be on camera.
Fantastic. Nice seeing you guys, and good evening, everybody. We did miss the last week's live stream, and here we are, the awesome duo of Sam and Ryan.
How's it going? You all right?
Very, very good.
I'm a bit low down here.
Sam, you are not only low down, you are properly tanned.
That's what it's all about, this weather, you know.
Take your camera higher, please. Otherwise, you are.
Give me a sec.
Adjust as well.
I'm on the floor, I think. Hold on a minute.
Very nice. Ryan, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Really good. Busy couple of weeks, but yeah, really good. Went to NamesCon in Texas. That was a really good experience. And then obviously London last week, went out for drinks.
Oh, yes.
So that was good. And then I'm off to Bulgaria on Thursday for the Varna for Digital conference, so an SEO conference in Bulgaria. So yeah, May and June are going to be busy months for me traveling.
So going around meeting some clients, or?
Yeah, Kalin from SEO Domains is based in Bulgaria. So met him in the Nordic domain conference, and we're doing a few little kind of stuff on the SEO traffic side of domains. So going out to see him and then meet some other clients at this conference. So.
Okay. Very nice. I was in London today, went to Hilton, needed to make sure that we have those sandwiches for Sam.
It's got to be better than sandwiches, mate. Yeah, man. Like that the last time I had to go to Sainsbury's a few times.
How are you boys doing? Have you seen the recent sale, hdl.com?
I've not seen that one.
No, didn't see it.
I saw the hd.com one.
So what do you think? hdl.com.
Yeah.
Probably six figures, I would have thought, if it was an end user.
So what do you guys think?
I haven't got a clue. It's a good one. Could be just under $1 million.
Yeah, I'd probably go with. There's some crazy three-letter.coms that sell, but I'd probably be about 100, maybe 200,000.
260,000.
There we go.
Buckley Media.
Yeah, that's a great sell.
Loomis, yes. Awesome sale.
Not as good as hd.com, which was a couple of weeks ago. That was they haven't disclosed it, but I think it was about 8 million.
I think it was 6 million. No,
they've discussed. They've said it's above 6 million.
Oh, okay.
I know because we had an offer at 5 million and on it, so I know it was. I'm guessing it was about 8 million because they came back to us to wanting 10 million. So I'm pretty confident it'd be about 8 million, which is a good sell.
And you wanted to buy it for 4 million or something, yes?
On behalf of
5. For 5.
Yeah.
And what happened?
The price jumped up too high. Basically, you can't. When initial quote was around about 5 million, and then suddenly, when there was interest, it went up to 10 million. Just kills the deal. So, yeah, Hyundai ended up buying it. Korea buying a lot of comms over the last couple of years. A lot of the prime comms. So, yeah, I've got one UK domain I'm close to selling.
Okay.
For 2 words. I won't say exactly what it is because we're in mid discussions, but 2 words, property. So one of the words is property, and we're looking at 5,000 to 10,000. So that might close, but there's a whole education process that goes behind these domains and stuff. So it's especially UK, so when you're trying to explain the difference between the .co.uk and all the other fandangled stuff. So yeah, if we can pull that off, it'll be good. We'll publish the price. I think that's what we need. This is Barry Garner. You need to publish some of your sales because he's got sales, and it just helps boost the whole market. But not enough people are reporting sales, so it's a bit tricky.
Sam? if you've been on holidays, it means you've done some sales.
No, I just taken a break from
No,
taking a
we
break
don't,
from
we don't buy
online
it.
stuff.
We don't buy it. We can see from your smile.
I get sick and tired of domains. You know what I mean? I've still got loads of domains, but you know, I'm not really buying any. I've just been concentrating on other things at the moment. But yeah, obviously still picking up certain things. Done lots of sales in the 24 to the 12 to 24 lease to buy. That's the way to go now. Going forward, all my sales I will allow long-term lease to buy. Up to 60 months I'll allow on good names. It's just people will buy it. I told you the other day I hand registered a domain. I won't go into detail what it is because I don't want people, you know, being doing what I'm doing. Anyway, and then I contact, because I used to do it all the time. You've got to remember, that's how I started. And I contacted a company. I said, look, this is a great domain. You know, you can buy it monthly. And they bought it. I think I registered it in the morning and they bought it in the afternoon on a lease to buy at just under £4,000. So that's the sort of thing I enjoy doing, because it's just such a crazy turnaround. £4.68 to £4,000. Obviously it's a lease to buy, so they might back out. But if it's on a 12 or 24 months, generally they're gonna commit. I think I've only had one person out of thousands of domains that are bottled out on the last payment. Can you believe it? And then you get the domain back. But I think that's due to an error of someone forgetting to pay in the billing department, whatever company. And then
did you reach out to them and
oh yeah, I reached out to the company privately because it was through Dan. Obviously, you're supposed to deal with Dan, and I couldn't get hold of anyone. So, you know what I mean? I rung them up, and I think something was going wrong or whatever. But you know, I would have if they'd come back and they'd wanted just to pay the last payment, I would have just transferred the domain, because that's generally. But you know what I mean? Like, I've done it before where I've sold a domain to a company and then they've dropped it, and then I've got it back, and then they've wanted it back, and I've resold it again, and they've paid the same price. You know, that sounds bad, but we're running a business now. We're not running. If you like, yeah, it's like, for example, if you bought something and then they didn't pay for it, they're going to take it back, aren't they? You know, it's like any business. It's still it's an asset, and they just think they can drop it or forget to renew it. We lose our domains, you know what I mean? Same with, you can lose your domains on DNSs.
So the one that the hand reg, was it .co.uk, or .com?
So obviously I'm a co-UK person, so it was registered in .uk, yeah. So it was available in .uk. But everyone, you know, like, you can make good money out of hand. Look, I always tell people this: you can make good money out of hand registering. You don't need to job catch. You don't need to. You can do it in any TLD.com, .net, as long as you know what you're doing. Obviously, I got the skills because I'm in UKs. I've sold thousands of co-UKs. .uk is not so much, but I'm still registering .uk because I still feel maybe in the future they'll be worth money. I'm still holding the .uk's to what the ones I've got. I think the free letters not so much popular. I prefer 2 words or single word. Things like, you know, the names that I get tons of inquiries on are things like Gate, Cobra, you know, Twin. You know, those are the ones that always people are inquiring on.
Oh yes, I got a spam letter or something from Cobra.
Oh yeah, that was a good reply. I saw that.
Forward it to you.
Yeah.
If you want to improve your cover brand, of course, come on.
Yeah, it's I get a lot of those ones. Yeah, I mean,
The
but
thing with the UK market is there's loads of opportunities to register 2 words, .co.uk's and UK's, hand register them. And they're the best in terms of what sells. They're the easiest ones, a couple of thousand and stuff. You know, the higher end stuff is super hard to sell. So I think there's still huge opportunity. Not much is selling in the space, but in terms of a long-term plan, I mean, in 2015, when they released the .uk, we ran a test with 100 .co.uk's and 100 UK's, right, with 2,500 words independently written. .uk's outranked .co.uk's all day long up until about 2020. So after the drop happened, in 2020, UK's just went absolutely terrible, nosedived, and we've got maybe 100 websites on there that are business for our business. And then about 3 months ago, something's happened and the .uk's have shot right back up. So it's an interesting space. I don't know if it's because I think the Heart Foundation or a couple of big charities have brought the UK into play and they're repointing it to their comm. But obviously Google's picking up signals and stuff. So I think there is a natural transition over time. It doesn't really matter which you go for. There seems to be younger people and international people love the UK. And
yes,
and .co.uk is perceived as more established amongst older people. But as a whole, like the only thing I would say is if you can get the pair, then that's what you need to have, because that adds so much more value than just one or the other. That's key for me.
So .co.uk is the Facebook, and then .uk's are TikToks.
Yeah, it's worth. I mean, I've just taken on a domain, estateagent.co.uk.
Okay.
So broker deal with someone more because I'm interested in whether we're trialing different things. So I went out to a LinkedIn influencer. She's got like 20,000 connections in property and finance. So we went on all LinkedIn groups and stuff. So then the conversation starts happening. Well, what's the value of the domain name? Why is it worth this? And when you understand that like 500,000 people on average type that word into Google UK alone, and the cost per click is £3, it's an absolutely insane domain to own. The only thing I would have liked to have done was reach out to the people because it's a split domain. So someone else has the UK and you've got a plural version. And if you can culminate all of that together, then you've got a really strong proposition for people. So, but yeah, the key is owning both, in my opinion.
Sam, so that hand rage, did you say that .uk was registered already?
Yeah.
And .co.uk wasn't registered? It was
so
dropped.
.co.uk dropped.
Dropped, yes.
Right, so the previous, it dropped the previous day or a couple of days. And then I did my research, and funny enough, there was a decent company using Google Ads. They were a .com. They had presence in the UK. They wanted it, obviously, because they didn't even negotiate. It was priced up. I said, look, if you want to buy it, there you go. Click on the link, pay for it. And, that doesn't happen every day, but if you do that and you do a lot of it, you will get the sales, but don't guarantee it to happen every day.
Did you outbound that one, Sam?
Yeah, so I outbounded it. Yeah, I reached out to the company. What I always find that works for me is I know a lot of people ping at email and everything else, but Facebook Messenger is a good one. I've sold loads just by pinging a message on Facebook Messenger because they normally always read that, guaranteed. To
the Facebook page.
Yeah, so if they go to their Facebook company page and push it through there, because I've done several that way where I sold one to a plumbing company that owned a very similar domain, and I said, look, you can buy it now for $3,000 or whatever, and straight away the guy was like, bang, you know what I mean? As soon as he read the message, it was like, and obviously because the problems what you get with email these days, a lot of it goes into spam. It doesn't matter how you're trying to send it. A lot of it's not read or it's bypassed to someone else because you've got to get the right person looking at the email. That's the biggest problem. like you say, if you're doing big sales, you ain't going to really achieve much on fire outbounding. It's a lot harder. You know?
I do quite a lot of LinkedIn. So one of the tips that Barry was saying was basically when you're outbounding on LinkedIn, put the domain that you want to speak to someone about in your tagline on LinkedIn, and then just visit a profile. You don't even need to connect. You just need to check in and out, because on LinkedIn shows you who you've been viewed by.
Yes.
So that was quite a good tip, to pop in and out. And then people, obviously, when you go in and out, people say, oh, this guy again, and then they see the domain name. So that was quite a bit more passive. But LinkedIn's always been quite good for me personally. I've tried Twitter and tried Facebook, but it hasn't necessarily worked that well for me.
How was the NamesCon?
Yeah, NamesCon was really good. We went over for like 10 days. So we did the conference. It was really good. Met loads of people that I've spoken to for a couple of years. It's always good to meet face to face. So yeah, it was a really good event. It's definitely worth going. And then after the event, we did a couple of things around Texas. Texas is kind of brands itself as a weird place. So we did like chicken shit bingo, which is a big thing in Austin. What? Yeah, chicken shit bingo. So you go to a pub, there's a pen, like where they keep a chicken in, and then it's divided into bingo numbers. You buy tickets, and basically wherever the chicken poops, whoever's got the number wins money. So Angus won one of them. So it was insane, but yeah, it was quite funny. So we did that. We shot some guns. That was I don't know if you ever shot guns, but that was an experience. Americans are just totally nuts. We had like a handgun and a semi-automatic, so we're there very conservative, shooting the gun, and then 2 booths down, you've got someone with a rocket launcher. So every now and again you hear boom, 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 and you're like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, we did a few things, travel around a bit, but yeah, the conference was really good. I'd highly recommend it to people. I think it's really good as well to go out there and say, look, are you coming to London Domain Summit? You know, London's, there's a good opportunity because we get a bit underrepresented in these places. But I've done a lot of business from going to NamesCon, also from going to Stockholm for the one in early May, and then obviously
domain days, yes, Nordic domain names, yes.
And it kind of goes across the board. People need to be, if you're on social media and stuff, you should be promoting and liking other posts for UK space and that kind of thing. Just building a bit of hype. Because it seems like UK versus com is very individual people rather than collectively trying to better. Whether you believe UK or UK doesn't really matter.
Well, this is what we are doing here, aren't we?
Exactly. So it's really important.
Have you guys heard of? So Ryan has heard. What about Domain Days Dubai? Sam, have you heard of them?
No, I haven't.
November 1st and 2nd. So Munir from AE Server, he's going to organize Domain Days Dubai. It will be, the first event will be more fun. This will be a test, like more like a test event, and the next one will be larger. I understand that he has already secured the support of ICANN, Middle East ICANN or something like that. And he's got fantastic connections, absolutely fantastic connections. That is where I'm planning to go.
Yeah, we're going to go. We'll go across. I met Munir at Nordic Domain Days. There seems to be now COVID's kind of still things mumbling on, but in general, people are a bit more confident traveling. So I think that would be a great experience. Yeah, really good experience. And then we'll go to Deepak's one as well. So Deepak's doing one in, I think, New Delhi in India on the 1st of December. So we'll
1st of December, okay.
And he's got quite some really nice .co.uk's and UK domains as well. So I think he'll come over and visit London.
That's the guy with the most awesome mustache in the industry, yes? His mustache is insane, absolutely insane.
Really, really nice guy, really down to earth, super successful. And it's good to have some prominent Indian domainers and stuff, Pakistan's got a few as well, but it seems to be not many people go out to India or Pakistan, or, it's a bit like the UK, it's quite insulated. So yeah, loads of exciting things happening this year.
Sam, any desire to go to Dubai or India?
Not really, unless there's free food or free accommodation. I know Dubai's nice, but it's bloody hot and bloody expensive.
No, not really. No, there is a hotel nearby. There is a 4-star hotel nearby, and you can get tickets. I'm afraid maybe around $100 a night.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be staying in the 5-star with the.
Well, he's organizing in a 5-star hotel.
Oh, okay.
That's your Sammy who is staying always in a 5-star with a view of
Come on,
on the
don't do
Buckingham
budget.
Palace. And
Yeah, that's it. It'll be done.
I think December will be a bit cooler. Still super hot, but cooler because the World Cup was on.
yes,
The World Cup was on in December, so it's a bit. Yes.
Sam, have you got some? Are you having dinner or something? What do you have there?
I've got electrical fire.
Sam's on the board.
Yeah, I'm on the bog. Yeah.
So, how was the NamesCon in that term that they had two? They had CloudFest and NamesCon going at the same time.
Yeah.
How was it?
So the event was kind of split. It was in the same place.
Okay.
All the domain stuff was in one kind of area, and then they had a breakout room for domains, and then CloudFest had their kind of own kind of section. But in the evening and stuff, there was people met up, had drinks and stuff. So there's a bit of integration. So yeah, I think because domain's quite niche.
Yes.
It almost feels like they have to team up with people to get that kind of interest. But I don't know how much of a crossover happens between IT and domains. Like the people I was speaking to, I don't think they understood the value of a domain. They weren't particularly favorable when they were talking about domainers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as a whole, it was, NamesCon is obviously the event of the year for kind of domainers versus ICANN, which is a bit more hardcore. But if you compare it to, say, Nordic Domains are maybe 5 domain people in the whole event, and maybe 200 odd that are all hosting providers and
Really?
Swedish and Nordic. Yeah, there was only 5. I would say 5 people there. Maybe 5. Say 5 to 10, being generous if you count IT.com who had a presence there.
Okay. So for them it would actually make sense to rebrand more than hosting or something, or still.
Yeah, they obviously run with Nordic Domain Days, but it's predominantly, I guess, if you have Norwegian or Swedish or European domains, then it's probably the place for you. But I was, as an event, obviously the hospitality was amazing. There was like breakouts, coffee, tea, drinks in the evening, really well sponsored and stuff. But from a domain perspective, there weren't many people there. And obviously with the .eu domain, it's not like you can go and invest in it anyway, because you need like an identity card and
you need European address.
Yeah. Whereas at NamesCon, you're meeting all the people, all the big people that you see online that have big sales. You've got there were some people from the UK. So you had Leanne, who does Crunch ID. She came across. She did a speech, really good. James Isles was there from GoDaddy, and there was a few UK people, and then you get the usual people like Kate Buckley did a talk with a business partner. But it's interesting, even Deepak got up and did his thing, and that was really super interesting. He gave away loads of insider tips about what marketplaces you should look at, where you can get where you can acquire domain names. And then you had different people like Dennis and a few other people who were about how to outbound and strategy. So really good insight. And I took my dad, because he does all the admin side, so for him it was really valuable just to listen to these people speak and stuff. So yeah, overall really good event.
We have a question in 2 parts from Kerna. Hello, good evening. Can you please tell how to outbound hand registered domains? And the second one is almost the same. Hello, sir. Can you please tell whether outbound will work or not for hand registered domains?
Do you want this one, Sam?
Not really. I don't want to go into it. You can explain what people can do. I can't be bothered to tell everyone. I've told people, just watch the old videos. on YouTube. No, it's outbounding is obviously you've got to learn the skill, how to what domains to buy and what domains to sell.
So you can register a domain anywhere, GoDaddy, wherever you want to go. If you're a nominate member, you pay like £500 a one-off payment, and then you can register domains directly at nominate, which works out cheaper in the long run. In terms of outbound, you'd outbound it in exactly the same way that you would do any other domain. Go to Google, type the domain in, see what kind of matches are, who's advertising, reach out to them an email, go on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and send a message, and then just remember to follow up. And it's very much a numbers game, but it's also huge. Brokers are probably undervalued for the skill level that goes into it, sending the right message, understanding, negotiating. It is a really skillful job. Anyone can do it from a starting point of view, but to be consistent every day and send those emails every day, over time it builds up. But it is quite a skillful job, and you can do that registered.
Yeah. Sam, what do you say? What would be the most important in outbound?
What would be the most important?
Yes.
Obviously, you've got to. Well, there's certain things that you can always look for. You know, you've got to look at if there's a company and they're operating in the UK and they're using sponsored ads for a particular niche, and it's their niche and they don't own the domain name, and you can hand register it, then that's just that's a no-brainer. You want to register it and try and sell it to them. But you've got to be careful as well. You've got to be careful with trademarks. You've got to you want to see what all the other registrations are in, what other TLDs are registered. So if the .uk's if the .co.uk is registered and the .uk is available, yeah, maybe you can sell them the .uk. But what I'm noticing a lot of companies doing at the moment, and I don't know why, big companies, they're dropping the .uk to their big brand, and there's tons of them out there. Like, I could go out and hand register all these ones that are using sponsored ads, but they've all got trademarks. So don't go doing that, because you'll just get a DRS and they'll take it off you anyway. I don't know why they're dropping the .uk. That's the problem. They need, in the UK, there's still a lot of education which people don't understand. You should have the .co.uk, you should have the .uk if you're a British company. If you're just operating in the UK, you need a UK. I think you need a .co.uk and a .uk. You don't need the .com. You need the .com if you're, going slightly global and outside of the UK. Obviously, when you get into .com league, you're getting into big money league. So not many British companies, the smaller ones, will be able to afford a .com. That's what I find. And I think the price point as well, you've got to price it right. If you price it too high, they're not going to buy it. Like, I would start off trying to price things. I used to price things at like $375, $500. Bang, they used to go like that so quickly. That's a low price. But obviously nowadays, I go for, I look at the company. I look at you can look at what they're worth. You look at all the details, then you base it on that, and then you price it up on that. That's how I do it. Some people will go, "Oh, it's a small company. Oh, look at this. Look at his accounts. Oh, he's got no money. So obviously he's not going to pay thousands of pounds for a domain name, is he? It's just like jokes.co.uk. Someone from Acorn recommended a guy, right? So this guy rings me up, and funny enough, he lives the guy that is his mate from Acorn Domains and knows him very well, but he owns a joke shop. He's got jokeshop.com, and funny enough, he's based in the city near where I live. And he rings me up and he goes, "I've got this." He owns this big shop, which is probably paying got to be at least 150k, maybe more a year, because he's right in the centre of town, opposite a castle where the biggest tourism is. He says, I really want this domain, but he's really old school. He goes, right, I want to get you out. I want to get you for a meal and we'll have a chat about it and we'll negotiate. And I'm like,
let's go.
well, can't you just make me an offer? You know, but he doesn't want to. I said, well, okay, how about I go to the joke shop and you just we'll take everything that you've got out of the till and maybe we'll do a cash deal. You know what I mean? I just was kidding that way. Yeah, so he wanted me to go out for a meal before we even discuss negotiations with it. So, but I think they're very old school because they ship him from America and China because that's the only place you can get apparently jokes now. I don't know the joke scene. I don't know. I know it's not big anymore, but I think this company's been there's the largest and longest joke shop in the UK. I think it's been going donkey's years, and he took it over from his father, and he was on the phone for I was on the phone for about 3 hours. I need to go now. Yeah. But he's really nice bloke, and obviously it was just because of someone on Acorn. I put on Acorn, and it was his mate. So maybe we'll get something out of it.
So he definitely knows the value.
Yeah.
His mate, his Acorn mate, has explained him possible range of the price. He knows that. He's cool with that.
Yeah. Well, if we get a sale, like I said to the guy of Acorn, he's introduced me, I will sort him out. But it's a case of what deal we do because he says jokes.co.uk would be very useful for him because he runs Joke Shop, he owns jokeshop.co.uk, and he owns quite a few other joke ones. And I was trying to explain to him because he didn't really get it. I don't know who set all the domains up for him, but he didn't really understand about having other domains and how you can get traffic from here and do it. He didn't, you know what I mean? Like you have to, when you have to explain domains to people, you can be on the phone all day, trying to explain why it's worth this amount of money. Because I think jokeshop.com is a good domain, that he's got. He's got it on his shop, jokeshop.com, on the front of the shop.
Yes.
So
just jumping back quickly to outbounding.
Yes.
One thing is buy a domain name and put even a one-page website on it. Don't outbound from a Gmail account or anything like that. So at least you look professional. The second thing is there's 2 steps to it. The first one is you send an email with the domain name only in the subject, and then a simple message, always the same message, which is, hi, I'm representing the domain name XYZ, and we're bringing it to market and thought this might be a good option for you. Okay, and then when someone comes back and says this, what's the price, which will happen 1 in 10, 1 in 20 emails, and you go back with some education and say, look, this domain look at Google Ads. This is the cost of the advert to advertise on Google. 85% click number 1, and it gets queried X amount of time. So the second one's an educational process. So sorry, just jumping back there to how we outbound. Those things are really key. If you email out with a Gmail address and it looks unprofessional and you haven't, and the spelling mistakes and stuff, you're just devaluing the asset.
Absolutely. And Kerna is asking, what type of domains are good for newbies? Brandable, made up, or exact match domains, or Geo plus EMD services?
So at the moment, what's really hot for comms is 6 and 7 letter brandable domain names that are pronounceable. They're really hot and they're relatively inexpensive to pick up. In terms of .co.uk, exact match 1 and 2 word domains do well. I don't do much with geo. I only do geo, straight geo. So Chichester.com and the Cotswolds.com, which is a recent buy, the Shard.com. I've never got involved in Manchester Plum or anything like that on my side.
Sam?
Yeah, no geos really. I have actually sold geos, lots of geos in the past, like Essex cleaning and Kent cleaning, but that's where I sold a client thousands of cleaning domains. But yeah, I don't generally pick geo ones. You can sell them. You know, you could get a big company using a geo with sponsored ads, and they're using a crap domain name. You just got to look. You know what I mean? It's all about research. You've got to. If you don't put the time in and effort into it, I mean, if you think you can just hand register a domain, stick a for sale page up, think you're going to sell it, or just fling out loads of emails, it doesn't work like that. You have to target certain things and look for certain things.
Yes.
But there are people out there that will do step-by-step guides. Just look, there's a lot of people that tweet about it, but I'm not so much of a telling everyone a step-by-step guide, because why would I do that? I'm making money out of it.
Well, these days you have ChatGPT if you want to have a step-by-step guide.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the ChatGPT can tell you how to do it.
Absolutely.
It's a case of looking at stuff. You don't have to drop catch domain names, and you don't have to spend thousands on domain names to make money out of domains. But obviously, if you want to get to the bigger league, you've got to start spending thousands of pounds on higher quality domains to get the bigger sales. So what you do is you start low, work your way up, and then go for the domains that are worth 10, 20k, and then hold on to the 20k ones and sell them for 200k, and then pick up more in the 20k range.
Probably one of the best things you can do if you're a newbie is sign up for Backorder. I can't remember the exact. There's a website in the UK that provides basically drop lists. I can't remember what it is. Let's see what it is.
Domain Law's got a good one, which is free.
Or drop.uk. You can sign up there and you get a list of all the drop domains, right? You don't need to compete on them. All you need to do is grab the domain list from yesterday, whack it through a Whois checker and see what's available. And that's probably the quickest way of identifying 2 or 3 really good targets. That's probably one of the tips I'd give for the UK side of things. Which is kind of similar, Sam, to how you registered your that recent sale at 4,000.
Yeah.
Similar idea. Get it through, bulk process it. Probably the other thing on the comms side is Squad Help now have a valuation tool. So literally scrape a whole, I don't do it, but scrape the whole expired com list for available domain names, dump it into Squad Help, and Squad Help will tell you if it's a premium domain or not. So you can cut through hundreds of domains and it will filter down a list that says these 4 are prime listings. So that's quite a new addition that not many people know about. So that's another one that's worth doing.
Simple. And here's something that Develop says exactly the same as you, Sam, said. So he picked up a corporation in UK from drop list. So corporations are dropping their .uk's, yes.
So the other thing is it's worth on Domain Law. I don't know how many people know, but there's a search function. Find a domain, type of phrase. If you put corporation.uk into it, it'll tell you who bought it, when they bought it, and how much they paid for it. So that's also a really good tool.
Wow.
And it's got all the historic sales on there. Really good. Not many people know about it. But so corporation, for example, sold corporation.uk sold for £215 this year, which is a great buy, to be honest. And it's probably just get it and then just put it to one side. But that's a good buy. That corporation.uk, great buy.
Okay. Sam, are you still with us?
Hold on a minute. I just have to let the dog out.
Okay.
What did you say?
Okay. Then can we jump to the next topic? So the recent sale, Google domains. Oh my God. What happened there? Do any of you have more insights?
No.
So the
No.
Google domains registrar was sold for what, 180 million, yes?
Yeah, 12. So it's domains
Squarespace.
under management. It's not an owned portfolio. So 180 million for 14.4 million domains under management, and they essentially just sold every domain for $12.50.
But they sold the registrar business, did they?
Correct. Yeah, to Square. It was
Squarespace, yes.
Squarespace.
Mhm.
So yeah, Squarespace automatically become the top number 5 registrar
Yes.
in the world, and that's obviously a really good buy for them. In terms of why Google pulled out, I'm not sure, but you'd have to question their, with the .zip and various extensions they launched. I mean, that's just not going to work very well. So I don't know why they're pulling out, but it obviously isn't worth their time.
I love Google Registrar. I have few domains at Google Domains.
I mean, they had the add-on services like Google Sites, didn't quite work out. And they obviously got Gmail, which at the time made sense to offer registration services, but as a whole, I've never really used them. And so it obviously wasn't working for them. And registrar business is really hard because it's not like Google are offering, I don't think they offer SSL and stuff like that, all the ancillary services, unless you use their Google Sites. So it obviously a strategic decision for them.
Okay. It was very strange. This is the first time I've seen Google selling something. And especially to somebody small. Well, considerably small.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I saw something about YouTube, and they reckon that if YouTube was an independent company, it'd be way more successful and generate way more income. So there's, I don't know what happens. Maybe there's a monopoly thing going on. Maybe it's a consolidation, because obviously Bing with OpenAI's partnership and stuff, that's rocking quite a lot. And maybe Google are now more focusing on their core business, which is search. And if you've ever tried to transfer a UK domain to Google and stuff, it's an absolute nightmare. It's not an easy process. So, yeah.
Sam, is this the first time you've heard of it? Sam?
Yeah, I heard of it. I heard of it, yeah, on Twitter and everything.
Okay. And then there is a second news. Second news. So, have you heard that story of Red Cross? They have gained some powers. That, what was it? They can close down any .org domain name or something like that. They can take down any .org domain name. The owners will still have opportunities to submit appeals. Basically, they claim that there are so many scams going on in the world. So, and the Red Cross has received some very, very unique rights. If they decide, hey, this is a scam, so they can take it down. They can take the domain name down. It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it was always meant to be, you're meant to be a registered charity to have a .org, same as the UK. You should have been
organizations, not charity, organizations. Yes.
But I thought it was generally a charity. It had, in my understanding, it was a charity-based thing, not necessarily an organisation, or the lines got blurred then. But yeah, it's a good thing, and they need to sort out some of these nefarious websites. I mean, Google's the worst one for allowing, and Facebook for promotion of utter trash, scams, crypto junk.
Well, Facebook doesn't allow to advertise crypto.
Well, there's still, I've seen some stuff on there. But
yes, well, you need to go really creative. Yes.
Or DeFi and that kind of thing. It's all just utter trash, and it's just trash. But they allow it, so they should clean it up. Definitely. I like the .orgs. We've got some really nice ones. I really like them. INT.org.
Okay.
It's probably one of the better ones we've got.
INT.
So for Internet International, we were approached by a crypto company, funnily enough, looking to launch in South America.
Yes. And?
No. No, they offered us like $1 million in their token or something crazy, and not allowed to sell for 10 years and bits and bobs like that. And I was like, to be honest, like, it's cash if you want it. So yeah, but it's I like orgs. They're great domains.
Sam, have you got some orgs as well?
Just org.uk's.
Org.uk's. And
I've got,
how are
I've got
those going?
software.org.uk.
Okay.
So that's an old one. I used to sell a lot of .org.uk's back in, I don't know, 2003, 4. They were the heydays of org.uk, and then suddenly they crashed. And I don't really hear of many people selling any .org.uk's anymore. If you do sell them, you're very lucky to sell a .org.uk.
Yeah, I've never sold one, but then I've never owned one, so that probably
Not many people really want to
Makes
invest.
sense.
I wouldn't advise investing in .org.uk. Well, because like you say, they were always designed for charities.
Yes.
You know, like I think there's one guy in Acorn, and that's all he registers is .org.uk. I think he's got loads. Trying to think what I had. I had something crazy. I can't remember what it was now. It was a free letter, and I sold it to him for about $2,000, and that was quite a long time ago. So you used to be able to get good money for them. I sold Christmas cards.org.uk for about £3,000 to christmascards.co.uk, because at the time we could rank the .org.uk and outrank the .co.uk. So we said, look, we're outranking you. Do you want to buy it? And they were like, yes, please. Yeah. And that's how we sold a lot of our .org.uk's, because you used to be able to outrank on .org.uk for some strange reason. But yeah, that was a long time ago. Google and everything else has changed since then. You know, gone are the days where you could just stick up a crappy one-word page with a load of content. Now everyone's creating content with AI, and some of the content's quite good.
that's a bit of a slippery slope, that approach.
Yeah.
I do a lot of website sales with Flipper and
Okay.
so it's got a part to play, but if you're going to go and put 500 articles up in a month or 1,000 articles and stuff, eventually you're going to come a cropper. And I've seen so many sites on Flipper whereby massive traffic, good income, just boom, killed. 3 months later. And there's a big, again, it goes on Twitter and there's a big hype about, oh yeah, I've done this, that, and the other, and then it goes to zero. So I think you have to be really careful when you're using the content. Just as an aside, there's lots of people talking about it and stuff, but you want to be careful.
Yes. Well, Flipper is really interesting. I do go occasionally to Flipper to check aged websites for sale. What do they have there?
Yeah, I'm a super seller, I think, at Flipper. And yeah, it's just knowing what to look for. It's a big business, buying these kind of sites. Well, if you're in a job,
Yes.
say you're on £30,000-40,000 a year, 50,000 per year, essentially you can buy a business that will generate that kind of income, and then you just manage that website relatively simply compared to a job. So a lot of people are buying businesses and stuff, which is great if you want to have a bit of track record with those kind of things. But yeah, no, it's a big business, big area.
Okay. Sam, here's a question for you. Sam, can you please mention one example of a big company that have dropped their UK name?
I'll find, if you give me a while, I'll find the domain that I was talking about earlier, and then I will come back to you on that, because basically they had the .co.uk, they dropped the .uk, their sponsored ads are all showing .co.uk. So what I think they've done is they've just thought, we've never used this .uk, let's just bloody drop it. but all that's going to entail is someone's going to register that and try and sell it to them. But you've got to be careful doing that because they've got trademarks and stuff. But yeah, I've seen lots, and I could go through the expired names and give you lists of ones that are available if you want to go down that route.
There's one we were looking to, because I've got a media company called Falbros Media Group, so we're running off fmg.digital, and there's a big company running off the .co.uk, and they dropped the UK for some reason in 2019. But it's a really short-sighted approach, especially if you're in business. For £5 a year, just put a 10-year registration and forget about it. It's absolutely
fmg.uk. Yes.
We don't own that particular one. Someone reached out to me. I ran off fmg.digital.
Okay.
Because we tried, I've got a couple of .news extensions, so I was trying different things, see how they ranked and stuff, and the answer is they're terrible. And the other thing about comms is that Australia, Canada, and UK are all competing for that .com, and .com doesn't matter what anyone says. SEO ranks probably 10 to 1 on a co.uk UK pair. At one point, it's up to like 5 to 6, but now com ranks all day long, and there's a huge competition between those countries to have the .com. So that's why the money's a bit more. But again, you know, doing the research and everything else, there's loads of bargains to be had. And there's more money in buying the lower end domains than there is in big ones. You know, we've got 2-letter.coms, we've got 3-letter.coms, we've got a whole range of domains. And more money in buying the domain for $100 and selling it for $5,000 or $10,000 than there is buying the ultra premiums. They do sell. When they sell, it's amazing. But if you're starting out, you can build a really nice business for yourself.
Did you guys also hear the news? I think was it last week or 2 weeks ago that Google from now on sees .ai domains as global extension. They don't. They've taken it out from the CCTLD.
Okay.
So from the CCTLD niche, and they've put them in the same basket as .nets, .coms, .orgs. Sam, have you heard of it? I haven't got the news in front of me. You can Google it quickly.
No.
These are some really interesting news.
I've not come across it, but it feels like.
So they basically the explanation was that, hey, those islands are so small that the damage will be almost close to zero. Everybody's a winner, and there are so many global companies that use their .ai domain names for their own brands, and those are global brands. So let us make it a normal GTLD.
There's always a second choice to com. .io, .co,
Yes.
.xyz, and now .ai. But if you offered them one word AI.com versus the one word .ai, they're going to take the .com, and then eventually upgrade to without the AI. At some point, AI is going to become ubiquitous. So why you'd have, like, it's going to be in every business. So why you'd want AI as an extension or within the URL is beyond me. But for now, it's working well for domainers who own AI domains.
And you mentioned XYZs. Now there is a wave of tweets. Hey, I'm giving away my XYZ domains, and I'm keeping only this and that. Have you noticed them?
Yeah, it was always going to happen because it was 99 cents registrations last year.
Yeah.
So that's the way you get it. You get the speculation, you get the hype, people buy in all kinds of randomness, and then it comes a point where they've got to pay. And the extension, it's not like $10 now. I think it might be $17 or $20 for XYZ. So
it depends from the name.
Well, that's a bit separate, because if you already own it, then it's just a renewal. But if it goes through the drop process, which is why I never liked XYZ, because I don't like it when the registrar changes things and it says, right, this is now a premium domain name, so it's $3,000 a year to register. So for me, it was never a thing, but definitely it's being crushed.
Sam, your thoughts on XYZ?
My thoughts are, I registered one, and I wouldn't register anymore.
Okay. Have you dropped it, or do you still have it?
It's probably dropped it now. Yeah, I don't think I've got it anymore. Yeah, I knew lots of people that registered good ones and paid good money. I go back to the XYZ Sweat. What's her name?
Yes.
Yeah, the craze of her selling them every week or every Friday or whatever, coming out with a list of like 6 or 7.
Of course,
Just
dominating. Yes.
Yes, I don't know what to believe. We talked about it before, and were the sales legit? Was it front running? Was it someone behind XYZ doing something? We don't know, but all I can say is whoever's paid a large amount of money for XYZ, you get so many issues with them because of spam and all sorts. You know, would you really want to be running
scam,
your
especially scam? Yes.
Would you really
there was one registrar. I had a chat with one registrar, and they told that around 80 to 90% of all the scams they receive are from XYZ domains. Emails coming.
That's what happens. It happened with .tv. It happens when you offer a domain for 99 cents. People don't care about the quality.
Or
they just
free.
Yes. And that's why. But one thing I would say is that when Sweater sold Clinique .xyz, which is a huge brand, right? The hype and everything around that, because she had a number of sales. That particular one, this is exactly what needs to happen in the UK and UK market. Someone needs to publish a 6-figure sale, right? And then snowball and stuff. But at the moment, people are keeping sales private. There are some really good sales, not mentioning any names, Barry, and they need to put it out there. And then there'll be the hype and stuff, because that's all that happened with XYZ. It was hype, and it was like, wow, suddenly there's a 6-figure alternative selling for XYZ. And I know that Mo's had a couple of little baby sales, and it's the German companies. The Germans love the .uk. They run off .de. So it's just that there's no published sales. People are very private, and that's the bit we're missing, is that hype.
Well, we went private with DNF as well, the DN forum.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's a little bit different, isn't it?
That's business, yes.
Whereas, it just needs hype. Someone, whatever it is, or just a collective thing. Whereas at the moment, it's all traded behind closed doors, and
then there were rumors that there was some man behind Shweta. Shweta was made up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, but they posted pictures of her at a domain event, and a couple of people I knew of were at the event, and there was Sweater in the background, and they were like, "Yeah, she's real. She's a human." She turned up in a fancy car and fancy clothes,
But then, how do you know?
Yeah, but you don't know. It could be all fabricated. Someone could be. Of course, you could like.
With all the respect to India, with all the respect to India, there is. Have you heard of these unofficial statistics? This April, Indian population, did overgrow Chinese population. So there are actually more people in India now, from this April, than in China.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's really difficult to find anonymous Indian woman.
I spoke to Deepak, who has a lot of .co.
Yes,
I think it's .co.in or .com.
My apologies to Indian friend.
Yes. Right, and Indians love their own extension. Yeah, right? Some really good sales in that.
And they are very patriotic. They are patriotic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the whole Sweater thing. The only thing that put me off was there was negativity on Google about XYZ as a registrar, certain marketing things, certain nefarious issues. Let's say if you go on Google, you'll find them for yourselves, where they've been fined for false advertising, and there's a few things that's happened over the journey of that company that are not favourable. And trust is what builds markets, and I never had trust in the XYZ. Putting Swetha twice.
I didn't like just one thing. Once I did find the first or one of the first interviews of Shweta, and what was there that she was bragging that the first year all sales were inbound, not a single outbound, not a single outbound, and she was going around like a Russian nutcracker.
You don't need to outbound XYZ. They're so hot. They're so hot.
They're so hot.
They're literally
they just melt in your mouth.
So instead of the .com, they go and buy the XYZ for 5 times the price.
Of course.
That's what some of the sales looked at.
And remember that DeFi adopted XYZ, right? And anyone who's been involved in DeFi knows that was an absolute tragedy, let's say.
I don't know. So what was there?
So a decentralized finance. So you'd go in and you'd say, right, I'll buy some tokens, or there's a game or a platform, whatever it is. I buy in, they're going to make a game. It's going to be hugely successful. And then someone runs off with all the money and stuff. And typically they're on a .xyz domain. And the whole industry is just scam after scam after scam. But that got the thing. So then people are like, well, it's Web3. And then technically with the DNS, you can link your like Ethereum wallet and stuff. There was some stuff that they kind of think, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But
okay, yes. Paige Howe actually likes XYZ. It would be nice to talk to him.
Yeah,
he's gone all crazy into XYZ.
Well, he's gone into Web3.
Yes.
So, and he's quite honest about it in terms of it's something for the future, rather than practically today. It's a value. So it's interesting.
So great news. Hey guys, what you are working on? We've been on for 1 hour. Monday, the main power hour. Sam, what are you working? How is your sniper doing? Come on, buddy. So those who do not know, we've got 2 competitors here. There is the new owner in the middle of flip.uk is Ryan, who's also working on brandable.uk. Yes.
Indeed. Yep. Brandable's doing well. So we've acquired the .uk. It's going to be a UK first platform. So when we display names, it'll be UK plus .co.uk rather than the other way around.
Okay. Yes.
We've got some features in there like with domain match. So what's if someone owns .co.uk, someone owns .uk, it will match it together. There's inline chat, payment gateways, lease to own. And then the brand we spent a lot of time on. So then we want to, once the platform's built, then we want to really push out some marketing in the real world in the UK, not necessarily on just Google ads and stuff, but paper advertising, some stuff that, because there's a lot of people that still would get visibility that way. So yeah, that's fingers crossed will launch for the London Domain Summit. That's a huge build. It's taken ages.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's the big one. So
the launch party on the top floor can be Brandable's launch party.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
If it happens.
If it launches. No, joking aside, it's
so those who do not know, I'm trying to sell Ryan this fantastic sponsorship opportunity. On the first day, there is space for 110 people.
Yeah.
So those who get business passes, so £50 for both days, you definitely get invited. Those are all up, and then the organizers invite, and exhibitors, of course, organizers. Sam will be there.
I'll be somewhere.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, how is Sniper doing?
Oh yes, it's still under production.
Okay.
Like this marketplace, I don't know why, but people try to join it when it's not even live. So yeah, it's basically going to be my marketplace for my domains. So when I get to add all the domains on there that I own, but I haven't done that yet, and then it will have its own auction platform. It'll be similar to Flip, very similar.
Okay, and only yours.
yeah, obviously it would be mine to start off with, and then if obviously other people want to add their own names, obviously I know a lot of people, but I'm trying to I'm going to launch Sniper, and then I'm going to launch a US version for my American friends that I got friendly with in Clubhouse a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Got about just under 4,000 members on Clubhouse, which are keen to sell their shitty names. Well, not their shitty names. No, they'll agree with that. But there's a lot of guys that I know that have got names that they want to sell cheap. So the US platform will just be selling .coms cheap. $50, $20, $10, and they want a platform for that. So, there's so many platforms out there though as well. You've got to have the audience to send it to, because people want to advertise their domains. Yes. But
And Ryan, what will happen with Flip? What's the future for Flip if you are working on Brandable?
There's 3 or 4 projects I'm running concurrently. Brandable is fairly well advanced in terms of brand identity's been designed, the architecture's been built.
Okay.
And that's a case of now it's a bit more self-sufficient. I have to get involved a bit of the within the admin section and how those things are going to function. So now Flip's gone into development this week. So what we have to do is we're trying to make it enterprise level. Okay. So at the moment it's got like the hosting and the DNS is kind of intermingled. So we're having to unpick that.
Okay.
Then there'll be several aesthetic updates, sorting out the VAT issue. We're looking at payment integration. So again, that's hopefully we've got bonus integration on domain parking.
Very nice.
So there's several things going to be built. In terms of launch date, I was hoping for the London Domains Summit, which is 50-50 as to whether it goes live.
Yes.
At the moment, it's just being essentially unpicked, so we can do the new build.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Digital Candy, which is our com offering, that's got some really big changes coming up in the next 4 weeks. Probably will all go live.
Yes.
So that'll go live then.
And then we can say that we are thinking of. So Ryan had this idea of doing some auctions once a week. We are thinking of auctions. Everybody will be able to participate if you have good names. Something similar that Clubhouse members have experienced, only in this case, either Icon Domains or DN Forum will be involved as well. So lots of eyeballs. And I'm happy to announce that Icon Domains, DN Forum is growing. Oh yes. It's coming back, baby. It's
the
good.
history of everything, it's amazing.
It's good. Before that, you could see there was 1-2 posts a day or something. Oh yes, it starts coming back.
Is that because you would allow people to have their exclusive membership back?
Sorry?
Is that because you allowed people have their exclusive membership back?
No.
Not membership. What was it?
Not because
I haven't been on the forums. I don't really have time for them. You know what I mean?
So there were several issues. One issue, there wasn't really decent marketplace, and there were many restrictions on what people could do. And there are marketplaces now. You can go. There are marketplaces. You can list all your .com domain names one by one or bulk. You don't have restrictions. You don't have that. Hey, I can list only 10 domains. No, if you want to list 1 by 1,000 domain names, go list them. There are there are categories for .com, for GTLDs, for CCTLDs, for Web3 domains. I'm waiting for these to pick up. I did after opening it. I did share the link at the Unstoppable Domains Discord page. Got deleted immediately. Come on. Well, Okay. At some point, anyway, at some point they will come to London Domain Summit, so we'll talk.
Just
There's no way escape.
quickly touching on the liquidity hour.
Yes.
If you go to theliquidityhour.com or liquidityhour.com, either, there's going to be a weekly auction. So 2 to 3 o'clock on a Friday for UK domains, and then 2 to 3 o'clock CST, which is 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And basically what we're going to do is people can send across their domain names. We're going to do a live broadcast. There's limited places. You can register as a buyer or a seller. And then we're literally just going to go through every Friday for an hour, pop the domains up, people can bid, buy, and do that kind of thing. So there's quite a bit of interest in it, and it's probably going to go live first one on the 30th of June. So if you go to the domain, it'll drop you on the page. You can register as a buyer or a seller. And the idea is every Friday, just churn through some of the domains.
Okay. Yes. Very nice. Anything else for you, Sam, as well?
Not really, no.
And for those who are registered, London Domain Summit, you can go to your App Store or Google Play Store, get the app Eventzilla, enter your download. It is a free app. I've paid. That's a paid feature for me for an organizer. Basically, you would download an app, Eventzilla. You would enter your email that you have used to register at London Domain Summit, and you will be able to contact other attendees. There are many people who are saying, hey, I'll get my tickets. Most of the exhibitors haven't registered yet, and lots of people still haven't registered. Start registering, get your free tickets. The number of free tickets is limited. There are less than 100 free tickets left for both of each days. And I'm also planning to get in colleges or universities. Today I have received a confirmation from London Economic School. And so the idea is to take a block of seats, of 50 seats, and give it to students on the first day to one college or university, and on another day, again, 50 seats for the young generation as well from a different school. We need to build up the new generation as well. Let the students come in, let them network. Many of the companies who will be at London Domain Summit, they are looking for good employees as well. That's great for networking, and everything what is good is good.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Next generation, definitely.
Absolutely. And Joe says, and Joe is probably coming with her awesome dog. She's got an absolutely amazing dog.
Do they allow dogs in the hotel?
Joe's dog is allowed. Okay,
so
thank you.
So is there going to be food at this event?
Yes.
I've got a few people asking me.
Yes, there will be food. Finally, I can confirm. I have always known that there will be food.
And have you got any discount rate for the hotel rooms? That's what other people are asking.
Today was the 4th or 5th time when I was trying to get some discount rates. Impossible.
Right.
Absolutely. I don't understand why is it so. Usually when a company organizes an event, they choose a hotel. They choose a hotel, and the hotel would actually say, "Hey, here are some special rates that your guests can book, and from every book, and from every booking, you would also get like an affiliate fee, tiny commission, but it is our thank you for coming and organizing the event at our establishment." Hilton, they immediately let me know. No, that is definitely not an option. You're not here to make money. No, nothing. And today I did try to get even. I said, well, can you give us at least like 5% discount of your rooms to our attendees? No, 5% is a lot.
You should have negotiated when you booked it and then moved it.
Oh, I did try. I'm having these negotiations already for a long time. Really.
Okay.
but it seems that is their policy. They are saying that they are always full, so and they can care less. And those who are looking for cheaper options, there is Airbnb, there is Premier Inn nearby. Premier Inn is like 3 minutes away walk away from there. So
yeah, hotels. I looked at the dates, and there's loads of rooms. Like, you know, even if like people are coming and sharing, because they're like, I looked on the dates, and there was like twin doubles and stuff like that. So like,
yes,
if there's other people, if there's like two people and they want to go half and stuff like that, then there's options like that. So
yes.
yeah, what was it, 200 and something pounds? So you split that, £100 each.
The rooms are starting from 220.
They're big rooms as well. They're not like crappy little ones like in the Putney Hotel that dingy little place that I stayed in. That was probably one of the worst hotels ever.
I could show you some places.
Well, I know, but if I'm in London, I've got to stay somewhere nice. I hate the dingy holes where you hear a bloody ambulance going past every 5 minutes.
Oh, London is amazing. Sometimes you can get hotels and you do not understand. Are you in a corridor or in a motel?
Yeah, crazy.
Yes, and about the food, I have made decision there will be no heavy lunches, as the presentations are quite packed. So I'm thinking of two breaks, and there'll be some light food served for everybody. So that is that. As I'm worried that if we start doing lunches, people can get carried away. Nobody's coming back. People are getting sleepy. Come on, no, we should operate like a casino. Remove all the clocks, everything. Put on music, and no alcohol as well. No alcohol except in the evening when
so
we
no
launch the
alcohol. That's going to write off 90% of the mainers.
That's in the evening. The alcohol will be in the evening. We definitely have a party. We will definitely have a party.
There's a bar in the Hilton anyway, so you can go and get a drink.
Oh,
anytime
absolutely,
you want.
absolutely. And the food is already prepaid as well. The place is paid in full. I just recently finished the last payment, and yeah, it's all good. And thanks for this. Really, thanks for the support of IT.com. Really, that was very huge. Cedo came in next. Cedo are amazing as well. Cedo are amazing. Especially the last year, we were small, and they just we will support the growth of the industry. That is amazing. They didn't need us last year. This year, I think, is different. Cedo are. I wish there were more companies who understood that you need to help to grow the company, for the industry from within. Gentlemen, lots of sales to you.
Cheers.
Let your bank explode from the volumes of the monies that start coming in. That you start receiving concerned calls.
It comes in, but it soon goes bloody out. I tell you.
into the mains.
Well, into lots of other things.
Thank you, guys. It was very, very nice.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
See you.
Cheers.
Good night, all.
See you later.